That is a lot more people than yesterday. PlayStation had a really big presence at EGX this year, and one of the key things they were showing off was VR. I pre-booked a slot probably a good couple of months in advance, and I was lucky enough to actually get to try Driveclub VR, which is something I've seen before online, but not tried for myself. It's not something I was really convinced about. I've never been a huge fan of driving games, mostly because I can't really control them very well through just a standard kind of PS4 controller. But they had a really good setup with this. I was sat in like a proper car bucket seat. They had a force feedback control steering wheel with brake and accelerator pedals, and it worked really well. I really enjoyed the experience. It was really, really cool. I was actually able to control the car, see what it was doing, drive around, and I did quite well. I actually got into first position in the race within the first lap out of 3. In terms of the VR itself, absolutely fantastic. The added sense of depth that you get from actually having the headset on, you do have the sense of depth perception that you just don't get when you're looking at it on a screen, and it really helps you to time your braking and your corners really, really well, because you have a much better sense as if you're actually driving. It's quite strange at first, because as you're turning the steering wheel, you do feel the feedback through the steering wheel. You have this visual impact and feedback. So your brain's trying to convince your body that you should be tensing and getting ready for these corners, and it's quite a weird sensation at first, but you do soon get used to it. But it's really, really cool. I'm actually quite eager to play Driveclub VR when it comes out. I just don't know if I can afford to have a proper racing setup as they had on display at EGX. But yeah, this has definitely further convinced me that VR is the way forward. So I've just played the Dawn of War 3 demo that they've got here at EGX, and it, again, is very, very good. It's taken more of a cue from the first Dawn of War. You've got your base building back, so you can construct your bases, you get some of the defences, you take your listening points to gain acquisition, and then you build up your armies and explore the map, looking to kill the Eldar in this particular mission. What's really different is that you've got these massive behemoth units. For the Space Marines, as you played in this mission, you have the Imperial Knight, who's got a very powerful Gatling cannon, as well as missile barrages. You've then got your normal kind of Space Marine units like the Whirlwind, Predator Annihilators, Predator Destructors, Space Marines Devastators. All in all, it controls really, really well. It looks fantastic. Big upgrade from Dawn of War 2. And it looks like they combined the best of Dawn of War 1, Dawn of War 2. It is still in a very early stage, but from what is there, it's very, very promising. Really, really looking forward to its release next year.
Yeah, if I can find it. I didn't die once. I thought this guy. I'll be done better.
Yooka-Laylee is absolutely brilliant. They're doing 15-minute demos here at EGX of some of the early build stuff. And the actual overworld is fantastic. It really evokes a lot of the feel from some of the early 90s platforms. Now, a lot of the team behind it did work for Rare, they're ex-Rare employees, so they've obviously taken a lot of the design cues from Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, but they've managed to give Yooka-Laylee enough flair and enough character that it has its own feel. It does certainly take a lot of the characteristics from previous games, but it's got its own sense of character. It's really colourful, really bright, and it really has its own kind of sense of awareness. It's got a lot of meta jokes in there from Yooka and Laylee, talking about how it's a modern game and why they're going back to collecting things. There's a couple of other kind of jokes in there with the snake called Trouser, which is kind of funny. But overall, it's an absolutely brilliant game, and I'm really looking forward to this when it comes out next year. Right, guys, that is the end of day 3 of EGX. Just managed to squeeze in a quick game of Battlefield 1 right at the end of the day. It's 7 PM then, so we got kicked out immediately after it finished. But Battlefield 1, really, really fun. I know a lot of people played the open beta, but this was different to Sinai Desert. This was San Quentin Scar, which is quite a fun level. And I know it's been available at some of the earlier events, but it was really, really good fun. So today's been great. Managed to get in some really good games as well, as you've seen previously in the video, but we've got one more day to go. That's tomorrow, that's Sunday. I'm going to be really tired. I'm carrying about 7 kilos of energy drink in my backpack. I'm going to drink them all tonight. Who needs sleep? Catch you in tomorrow's video.